What is good, everybody, man? Welcome into the Blue Bloods, continuing our player spotlight throughout the all season as we approach the 2023 season. We are here with one of my favorite players in the country, my guy, John Pius, William and Mary linebacker. Now, I usually give a short intro, man, but the accolades are long. Second place for the Buck Buchanan Award for the best FCS defensive player last year, consensus unanimous first team FCS All American, first team all conference in the CAA, was named the CAA Defensive Player of the Year, sophomore All American from Hero Sports, VASID Player of the Year, and first team All State for William and Mary. John, I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Hey, for sure, man. So we got to get into last season. I mean, I think there was a point in the year where you were on such a ridiculous pace that, I mean, the sack record was in reach and everyone was wondering how high you could really go. What clicked for you? Because a lot of people look at 2022 as your breakout season. What was different in terms of your game last season compared to your first two?
Yeah, I think definitely the biggest thing was just my IQ and just kind of like just being a student of the game, understanding the different tactics and breaking down film, a lot. I think that was something that separated me from this season and my freshman and then COVID year season. I think that was a big factor. Also, just getting stronger and faster and just getting my you know just getting my into my body, building myself, and just getting bigger. I think that really helped me become a complete linebacker, a complete player. um yeah, I say those were the things that definitely benefited for a productive season.
When I go back and look at you and your game coming in as a freshman, man, a lot of people don't know this. You were under 200 pounds when you got to William and Mary. Going into last season, 230 or even higher at times. What has been the development program and the strength and conditioning program at William and Mary, and how have you taken advantage of that to kind of build your game into what it is going into this season?
Yeah. First, I'll just say a shout out to my strength and conditioning coach, Coach Mary. He's definitely been a major factor in um, my strength and my conditioning. Just helping me build my body, become a complete athlete. He definitely benefited and helped me through that, and all the other assistant coaches that I had. They really worked with me and wanted to see me grow. It's a great program. I think Coach Murray, he came into my freshman year, and he definitely turned the strength and conditioning program around.
This season historic for William and Mary. You guys win the conference championship, make a deep run into the playoffs, and I believe you guys set a program record for wins as well.
Yeah.
What made this team so special in your opinion? And when did you know that this season was going to be as historic as it ended up being?
I would probably say in the summer, during training camp. Uh, I felt like it was very competitive. Everybody got closer. I just felt like the chemistry on the team was, you know, out of all my 3 years, this was probably the most that everybody has been connected together. And I think that really helped us both on offense and defense. Special teams just working together, feeding off each other's energy. That definitely helped. So I say definitely in training camp, it was very competitive. Everybody was battling, trying to show out and trying to compete.
When I look at William and Mary, I think you guys have two of the most feared edge rushers in FCS with yourself and also Nate Lynn, who was a freshman FCS All American or 2 seasons ago as well, and was first team All Conference last year. What is y'all's relationship like, and how competitive is it between you guys during the game, as terms of who's going to go out there and be the guy week in and week out? Because one week you could go out there and get 2 sacks, the next week he can go and do the same thing. What is y'all's dynamic like behind the scenes?
Yeah, Nate's my guy. Yeah, definitely. His last year, he got all the accolades. Even this year too, he did. But Nate definitely, help work with my game and pass rushing and all that during the summer. I think he definitely took my game to the next level as well. And we know we're very competitive, and obviously, we love the pass rush. We love to do all that stuff. But yeah, off the field, we definitely hang out. We do all that stuff. But on the field, we're just trying to feed off each other. We learn. We're trying to learn something every other day, for real. But definitely, he's definitely going to be a major contributor again this season and after his college career.
I completely agree, man. I know there's a lot of CAA offensive tackles that are not looking forward to seeing you guys on the schedule. But this all season, man, your defensive coordinator, Vincent Brown, took the head coaching job over in North Carolina A&T. Can you talk just a little bit about what that transition has been like this all season and what I guess made him such a great candidate to take that next step and be a head coach elsewhere in the FCS?
Yeah, Coach Brown during his time here, everybody wanted to play under that defense. I feel like we made a lot of history with our defense, especially throughout the CAA and even outside of the CAA. I felt like we had a top defense in the country. And then just those like his scheme and working through all of that, you know, he definitely had, the tools and all that to become a head coach. So, we're all, rooting for him. We're all proud of him for getting that coaching job.
Your personal position coach, Daryl Blackstock, man, time in the NFL, extremely successful coaching and playing career, man. And just can you speak a little bit about what your relationship is like with him and how important he's been for your development and putting you guys in the best situations to succeed on Saturdays?
Yeah, Coach Blackstock, that's my guy. I'll say we have a close relationship. Um, just even through my freshman year, and I say he's definitely been pushing me and motivating me, um, trying to get, trying to be the best version of myself. Even if that on the field or off the field. Um, I've definitely learned a lot of things from him. Thankful for him for being my coach, helping me become a better person as well. But yeah, Coach Blackstock has definitely helped develop my game, and especially this season, you know, I definitely took it to the next level with him.
And I saw an interview with you earlier this all season. I believe it was after the spring game where you were asked about the transfer portal and why you decided to stay at William and Mary. And I think the whole program too, because you see a lot of guys like yourself, Nate, also Jalen Jones was a freshman All-American, led the country in interceptions for most of the year. A lot of young guys who succeed early in the FCS do enter the transfer portal for a lot of times and pursue other opportunities. What was it about the culture at William and Mary and about the program that made you and a lot of these other guys want to stay in the program long term and just finish out y'all's careers as a part of this William and Mary team?
Yeah, definitely. There's a competitive and winning culture here at William Mary right now. Um, and you could see it when you walk through the campus, and practicing during the games in the stadium and all that. I say that was one of the major reasons. William Mary is also, a great school academically. Um, and, just staying here, getting your degree, that's, is definitely a major decision or major reason why, I wanted to stay, getting my degree here first. So just, yeah, academics and just the competitive nature of this school, and be definitely, bringing back a winning competitive culture here right now.
When I look at your game and I look at the history of FCS, guys who are as successful at rushing the passer like you coming from the FCS level do great things in the NFL and get a lot of opportunities. Have you already started exploring the options of the next level? And have you gotten any feedback on your game on things that you want to improve on over your last few seasons before you take that next step to the NFL?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking about the next level. But right now, I would say like I'm just trying to stay in the present right now. I feel like I don't want to think too far ahead in the future. I really just want to get ready for this season and improve. How can I improve from this season? But it's definitely it's definitely in my mind. But I just want to stay in the present and figure out how I'm gonna contribute and take another step this season.
And looking at your game, who are some of your major influences that you look up to in terms of NFL players? I guess what NFL player do you feel like you model the most with your game?
Uh, I would probably say Von Miller is definitely one. Um, Leonard Floyd, Brian Burns is another one. Um, I like his speed, and his speed game and his counter moves are pretty good. But yeah, Vaughn and Brian Burns are my top two.
I love that Brian Burns comparison because I've been watching your film, man. That speed off the edge, if that tackle don't get off the ball,
Yeah.
it's a wrap. But everyone has their welcome to college moment, man. I always like getting players' answers to this. But what was your welcome to college moment, whether it was in practice or a game where you were like, okay, they got me there, but I'm never gonna make that mistake again.
Yeah. uh, I would probably say UVA game. That was definitely my welcome to college game. Um, that was my first game starting. One of our senior captains got injured for about most of the season, so I got kind of put in the fire for that UVA game. But yeah, FBS, yeah, all the big guys. I think one of the tackles was like 6'10", 300. So yeah, it's going against him. It's kind of not as big as I was this year. Probably like playing like 225, but it was definitely some plays where I was just like, yeah, like nah, there's definitely, you know, there's definitely bigger guys, bigger, stronger guys than me that, that just made me want to compete more. And,
You,
um,
you you got your lick back though against the FBS this year. You
oh
guys
yeah,
you
against
guys did
Charlotte,
that.
yeah,
That, that,
but
that was that was a coming out party.
yeah, no, definitely, that's why I was definitely thinking about that UVA game during Charlotte, and I think we also played UVA. It's gonna be game 5 this season coming up.
Yep.
So that would be good, come back over there, see what I can do.
Listen, man, that would be a huge upset. I already know you guys have that upset mentality, man. I've seen you guys do it. In the CAA, I believe you guys had the first like 3 or 4 FBS upsets as a conference this
Mhm.
past season. But looking at your game, man, I played offensive line. I know how competitive it gets in the trenches, man. The trash talk is on the next level when you got the same guy all game. How big
Yeah.
of a trash talker are you on in terms of on Saturdays in between those white lines?
Uh, I can't say I've been a big I won't say I'm a big trash talker, but I hear it a lot. When especially during later in the season, when I feel like they probably like knew about me. After I was kind of getting like a couple recognition awards and all that. I started to hear more of the chirping, and I'm not gonna back down from that. So I want to say, actually, I didn't get any penalties at that, so or none from trash talking. So I can't say I'm a big trash talker right now.
You get a chance to throw your teammates under the bus. The biggest trash talker on the team going into the next season is who?
Biggest trash talker. Uh, that's a good one. I probably say, mm, it's gotta be 6. Ryan Poole. Either
Yeah.
6 or 99, but they both back it up. But
Oh man, they definitely do. You could tell both of them on film though. I think when you watch William and Mary games, you can tell that they're just so intense, man,
yeah,
during the game. But you don't have to give away all your pass rush secrets. But if you had one go-to pass rush move to get to the quarterback, man, what's your favorite one to go to?
my favorite one probably the Hezzy cross chop or the Hezzy then chop inside. I think that's my one of my favorite. Definitely the Hezzy cross chop. I feel like I do that a lot.
I love that. And then giving
Yeah.
a little bit of credit, man. Listen, I don't you dominated almost every game this year, so it might be a little hard, but if you had to look across from you this season, who was the best offensive player you faced this year that when you look at it, you're like, man, they gave me a little they gave me some headaches this year.
You saying like who I've like rushed against, or just like the best
Yeah.
offensive player in general?
You can do each one. You could do the best player you had to go heads up against and just the best offensive player y'all had to deal with in totality.
Let me see. Mm, I would probably say that was good. Probably say Richmond, either Richmond's QB. Um, yeah, him playing against him, he was kind of sneaky back there in the pocket. Um, and Campbell's QB, I like playing him. He was an athletic runner. He was an athletic runner too. So it kind of gave me a hard time trying to sack him. Um, but I say Campbell's QB was probably was the hardest for me to try to run down and sack.
Yeah. Hodge is different, man, with that size and the
Yeah.
speed, man. Hodge is crazy. But one on one, man, what's the number one mistake an offensive tackle can make against you when you're lined up against them?
Ooh. Uh, Probably when if I beat the snap count and he starts uh he starts trying to vertical set me, but he's like really trying to vert set me back, and he like oversets and turns his shoulders, and as soon as I like feel that and I can counter off that, I think that's probably the biggest thing I could say, especially on those 2-minute drills or third and longs later in the
Mm.
game.
No, I definitely like that way. And then, last two questions, man. Your goals this season. I mean, you've achieved almost everything. I mean, outside of you winning the Buck Buchanan, man, I don't know how much more there is for you to achieve individually. But when you're going into this season, man, what does John Pius want to walk away in 2023 with?
Uh, Definitely, I want to repeat as the CAA Defensive Player of the Year, um, first team All American again, and I want to be back in the Buck Buchanan conversation again. I think those are my
Man,
major things. Maybe one at this time.
no, that man, definitely. I think last year, man, try to look back. I mean, there's always great competition, man, but I don't remember there being that many good pass rushers in one Butt Buchanan class. I mean, if you separated all of you guys into different years, all three of you guys are walking away with it, man. It was insane. There were some
Oh
upset quarterbacks last season.
yeah.
And then the final question, man, you guys made a legendary run in the playoffs last year. And ultimately, that Montana State game didn't go the way you guys wanted. What was the single biggest learning experience for you in that playoff run that you can apply this year when y'all ultimately make that next FCS playoff run in 2023?
Definitely just taking back from that playoff experience. I say just got to be more mentally prepared, especially for that type of environment, whether it's from the weather conditions, cold, if it's cold, snowing, icy, whatever on the field. Um, got to be mentally prepared for that. Um, Definitely, just knowing, um, even if you mess up, during those type of games, you gotta compose yourself, keep your head up, and just keep playing your game, because everybody's looking at you to depending on somebody to produce and make a stop, even if it's making a stop or scoring a touchdown. Just staying composed, especially if things are not going your way. I think that's the biggest thing that me and myself I can take from that.
I am with you on the weather conditions. I don't know if you know this. I was at that game. I covered it, man, and I'm from Alabama, and I know you're from like Virginia, so it gets kind of
Yeah,
cold up there. Listen, man, I was not ready for the weather. It
nah,
was so cold that game.
It
It,
definitely was. I say more. I say during the game, it wasn't as bad. I think we all were like, I feel like we were all mentally prepared for like the cold. I would say more of like the field conditions. To be honest, was probably I say that was probably the worst out of that. Because it was kind of icy there, but at the same time, a lot of people weren't really expecting that. But yeah, I say it was cold though. So
Yeah, that ice was crazy. I remember because I was on the sideline taking photos, and there was one play. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of y'all's safeties. Man, he was chasing Tommy to the sideline, and I mean, they both hit the sideline, and neither of them stopped. I mean,
yeah,
they slid
yeah, I
all the
know what you're
way.
talking about. Yeah,
Man,
the
I
almost to the
almost got my
sideline.
ACL taken out. I was like, man, I had to like
Yeah, I had to get
sidestep him.
out
I
the way.
almost, yeah. I'm on TV. Like, I had friends calling me, like, "Did you just jump over two players?" I
Oh
was
yeah, it
like,
was
"Yeah,
on
that was me."
ESPN too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I almost died. But man,
Yeah,
John, I appreciate you, man, giving me 20 minutes of your time. I know you guys are done with spring
of
practice. You're
course.
focusing on finishing up the semester, but I really like promoting FCS players, man. It's so important to get y'all's names out there. But I'm gonna give you a moment, man. Plug your social media. Let them know where to contact you for NIL deals and any messages or anything you want to say, man. This time is yours.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate you. My Twitter handle is John Pius _9. And my Instagram John Pius _8. So definitely, reach out, for NIL deals. I would appreciate that. Any other, you know, if you have any other, interviews and whatever, you want to do with me, I would appreciate that. And, definitely you have my Twitter. So I hope to be
Yeah.
in touch with you.
Oh man, trust me, we're gonna get you back on the show, man. After you win that Butt Buchanan, I'm already got plans. I know. I think the first game I'm covering for you guys is the Campbell game. I think that's that Thursday night game you guys
Yeah,
have
that'll be
to
first
start the
game.
season. I'll be up there, and then I'm gonna make it to a home game. Last year I tried to make it up for one of y'all's playoff games, and I couldn't because I had something come up. But I got to get up to a William and Mary home game, man. I need to experience that, man. I
Yeah,
saw the atmosphere when y'all clinched the title, man. It looked amazing up there.
no, definitely, man. We'd love to have you down here.
Hey, for sure, man. But guys, listen, man, go follow John. Man, listen, this is a future NFL player, man. I don't say that for every interview, but I'm telling you, man, this guy's got a future at the next level. But Buchanan finalist, CAA Defensive Player of the Year, first team FCS All American. He's done it all. Go follow him on all social media. But for John Pius, for myself, and for the Blue Bloods guys, we are out for right now.